How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the F1 2020 My Team Career Mode, where we're bringing Brabham back to the very top of Formula 1. Last round at the Monaco Grand Prix, the crown jewel of the F1 calendar, and what a result it was for us. Qualifying in the wet was so tricky, and then P6 in the race was unbelievable. I managed to get good track position, couldn't quite catch Ricciardo, and I came under a little bit of pressure from Perez and I believe it was Albon just behind me, but luckily they didn't get past us and we were able to finish our first top 10 finish and a great haul of points for our championship. With a new set of sponsors in the last episode comes a brand new livery for us. I've been playing around with the customization features on the game, which I think is a fantastic addition to this year's game, but equally maybe sometimes we're a bit limited on what we can do with the liveries, but this one's something that I quite like. New sponsors, brand new livery. Let me know what you guys think of it. Could we change it slightly? But I'm a big fan. I much prefer it to the old one as well. So let me know what you think. Brand new livery for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix and moving forwards for the rest of the season. I know that soon enough, we're going to have to make a decision on whether we keep Mick Schumacher around and renew his contract. I believe it's just after the Austrian Grand Prix, which is only a few Grand Prix away. Now, I've got a few options I'm going to post to you guys in the comments down below, and whoever's watching this video, let me know what you think. I've got three options outside of bringing Mick with us along the journey and keeping him in the team and hopefully making him into a Formula 1 world champion just like his dad was. But I'll give you a few options and you let me know what you think. Option number one is Kevin Magnussen. 78 rated, he's going to cost us 6 million. Now we've got 2 million in the bank. So do we keep Mick on, renew his contract, and then build up our resources and our money and upgrade the HQ, or do we bring in a better teammate? Now, Kevin's really experienced. He's got a good amount of pace. He's quite aggressive, which I like about him. But also there's a nice story that his dad and my dad were also teammates in their racing careers together as well. So maybe that's quite a nice story, having Magnussen and Brabham back together as teammates, but in Formula 1 this time. The second option I've got is George Russell. He's, again, 6 million. He's got good pace, great potential. Can we snatch him from Mercedes' hands and bring this guy into a top Formula 1 car eventually? Williams are stagnating at the moment. They're not the sort of pace where I think he deserves. And also think he's probably higher rated than 76, also in real life, but it is what it is. Do we choose George Russell, young English driver, great potential, and we bring him along with us on the journey to hopefully bring a constructor's title to Brabham? Our third option is Nick de Vries. Now, he's got a bit more experience, he's better paced than Mick, he's got better awareness, better racecraft as well. He's only 2 million, which I believe is very similar to Mick as well. He's 68 rated. Do we choose somebody who's an F2 champion, who's currently out of a drive in Formula 1, or do we keep Mick, or do we go for established Formula 1 drivers who are in the championship now and take them with us on our journey? In the comments down below, let me know who you think we should choose, and then come after the Austrian Grand Prix, we'll make a decision on who we're going to have. If Mick maybe picks up his performances, then fine, but at the moment I can't see that happening. So do we bring Mick, train him up over the seasons and try and make him into a world champion, or do we bring someone in who's more established, who we know is going to be performing at a higher level than Mick is right now? Because I feel like our car is getting there, it's getting closer to that midfield battle, but we haven't got a second driver that's capable yet of coming with me on that journey. Heading into the practice programs now for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, I felt pretty good. The car in the dry particularly was very solid. I felt like we had a good balance. I managed to get through all the practice programs as well as possible. Struggled for oversteer more than I did understeer at the same time. I didn't do too much of the setup, to be honest, which I think is a good thing. I don't want to change it too much because then I'm going way off what the game suggests, and my knowledge of how to set up the car better for this game in comparison to what it is like in real life is quite different. I've seen quite a few people have different setups for hot laps that they've done that I would never in a million years try on an actual race car. The setups are crazy, but they obviously work in the game to go quick, which is not something that I particularly was good at. So here we are going through each section of the track, trying to get acclimatized with it. The caster section I think is really cool, very pretty, aesthetic. It's a tricky circuit, a lot of 90-degree corners, which lends itself to trying to get the car stopped and rotated, and then try and get a good exit out of the corners and through the kink down the long straight, trying to pick up as much speed as possible, be smooth through the kinks. And then just through here you can see Daniel Kvyat in practice 1 was P1, which on the hard tyre, I believe, or sorry, on the mediums, I was P9, felt like I did pretty good. Mick in P19, ahead of Gasly. That's normally where he is, and now we're heading into qualifying, where I felt really comfortable. I was able to get a good run through turn 1, and I managed to limit my mistakes in qualifying, which is really important around a circuit like this. It's a very long track, and I felt like I was able to really get a lot out of the car. Heading into the castle section now, carried a little bit of speed, maybe didn't quite get that right. I've gone too deep into there, I've compromised my exit through the left, and that's somewhere where I felt like I could gain a bit more time. And then coming down the straight, a 140.3, P5 at the moment. It was very early in the session, and as you can see, as I've accelerated time, 4 minutes to go, I'm P19 with Mick just behind us. And then coming down into this section here, felt like I did okay. I managed to clip the curb there, which doesn't help. You have to really avoid that curb on the right hand side. As you can see, I'm losing time there. And then coming into the castle section, this is an area where I made a mistake in the previous lap, and I managed to gain a fair bit of time here. As you can see, nearly 2/10, go through the left, managed to have a much better line and then better exit, and went a little bit wide, again about 4/10 on the lap. But this is something that was really important here. I managed to get a toe off, I think it was Kvyat in front of me, and you can see the time on the top right gaining and gaining and gaining, and it meant that we ended up in P12, P12 for qualifying 1, out of Q1 into Q2, which is a fantastic result for us. But I'm pretty sure if you look at the gaps here, it's only a 10th to Kimi Räikkönen, and I definitely gained more than a 10th because of that toe. So without the toe, I wouldn't have got into Q2, and I felt the same here into Q2. This exactly the same situation. I'm behind, I think it's Norris, I'm not quite sure. One of the McLarens is in front of me. Through the castle section, managed to get a little bit of oversteer, but it didn't compromise me too much. And again, coming down this main straight, I had another toe, and I felt like that really helped, especially on such a long straight. It limits the amount of air that's hitting the car, and we came over the line in Q2 in P8. Into Q3 for the second week in a row. The car felt good, but no doubt the toe helped me massively, and I think without it, I'm still in Q3 in 16th, 17th sort of area. Going into Q3 now, this was a good lap. I felt like I maximised the majority of the lap, which for me was really important. I limited those mistakes, managed to get a good run out of the last corner, the last real tricky corner before the kinks, and then coming over the line in Q3, one set of tyres used right at the end of the session, qualifying P8, which was a fantastic effort, and I'm really happy with how I drove. P8 ahead of both McLarens, and I'll head into the race.
Leclerc lines up on pole position, with Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Albon, Lewis Hamilton, they've taken a grid penalty, and Giovinazzi, Mr. Monaco, Norris, Sainz, and Esteban Ocon, Bottas, Perez, Kevin Magnussen, and Gasly, Kvyat, Raikkonen, Romain Grosjean, and Daniel Ricciardo, Russell, Schumacher, Stroll, and Nicholas Latifi. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Okay, ready for the start of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. A great qualifying for us. We've jumped up ahead of Bottas, who's taking a grid penalty, so we're now P7. I felt like I did a good job, but I actually upped the difficulty into Q3, and I was still 8th. So I went from, I had a 103, I believe, at the beginning, and now I'm on 105, 106, which I felt was going to be a bit more difficult, but I ended up P8. But with the weather conditions as they are, I wasn't sure how I'd get on. I've not driven around this track in the wet, so I thought I'd leave it at that. I have upped it a little bit from first qualifying and second qualifying, a little bit incrementally, just to see if it made a difference. Maybe without the toe, I don't get into Q2, Q3, because I'd managed to get a great run with Kvyat and I think one of the McLarens in the Q2, which would have definitely helped. Even if you're that far back, you still gain a bit, maybe a half a tenth, a tenth. And as you saw in qualifying, it was actually quite close. So it'd be interesting to see how that works out. If I was wasn't able to get the toe, then do we get into Q2 and Q3? But we're here anyway. I have upped the difficulty a little bit. I think I'm 106 now, so still quite difficult, but we'll see how the race plays out. I'm looking forward to it. Going into the strategy, doesn't look like it's going to change. I'm going to keep it at that. I'll see if it's going to be any different. I might box I'll box a lap early, the same as normal, like I would with the dries, get a fresh set on a little bit early and then run to the end of the Grand Prix, see how we go. And maybe if we box earlier, I could go long and hope that it dries, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. So we'll have to make a call on it and see how we go. Ready for the start of the race in Azerbaijan. Here we go. Short shift to second as quickly as possible. And that's paid off for us here. We're almost out round the outside of Sebastian Vettel. And we might even get the move done here. Tried not to make any contact with him there, but we're up to P3 in this race as there's a yellow flag behind, but we won't concern ourselves with that. Make a little bit of contact. We'll let him go. As with Albon, when he decides to come past, because that is not our battle.
That's what we like to see at the start. Well done.
Here's my ERS. It's not flat through there. I'm not comfortable to be pushing through those two kinks, the left and then the right. But we've kept Albon at bay. I've used my ERS. Down the straights to try and keep him at bay, but he will come past. He is certainly in the quicker cut. Trying to limit the slip on the tyre. This is quite an abrasive circuit, so I'm just trying to manage my tyres. If they go off, then we're definitely heading back down this grid. Turned in a little bit too early there, managed to get away with it. Smooth with the throttle, no tyre spin, and it's working for us at the moment. The smoother I'm driving, the better. At the moment. Little lift again. It seems like they're not lifting. I mean, I suppose he is in a Red Bull. They've got quite a lot of aero. I'm going to stay right hand side. Use my ERS. Go inside. Don't worry about me, mate. Hamilton the same, I'd imagine.
Time to the car behind. Keep pushing.
I'm going to hang it around the outside. He'll have the inside for this. Maybe cut back. Like so. Got a decent run out there in comparison to the Red Bull. I might as well fight this for while I can. If he's going to make mistakes like that, I'll stay inside, make sure I brake early enough. Let him have the corner. He's braking way later than I have, sorry. Shouldn't be taking that curve there. Get on the brakes all the way into there. Hamilton will come past me. I'm thinking about just letting him go here. Cut back. Maybe just don't get a good run, but try and use this slipstream to help me break away from Sainz, who's coming at us so quick. I've got to lift quite heavily, and then I'm oversteering. And Sainz is coming at us a serious pace. He'll go past. I'm using all my ERS. I've got nothing in a straight line. I feel like I've not got much in the corners either. A little bit of oversteer there. A little bit of contact. As I try to cut back, but you had to really get it stopped there, but that's fine. A little bit of damage on the wing, but it is what it is. Teammate Norris coming at us as he's checked up. Now, what's he doing there? It's a great little cutback, and now he's had to slow down, back up as much as that's great racecraft. I tell you what, it's the experience of having raced in the wet. Coming to the fore there, that was really good driving. I'm really happy with that. See how much they gain. If you look at my rear tyres in comparison to my front tyres, I mean, how I'd love to know how. He must be using ERS.
Try to stay with him. He might make a mistake.
I'll
You
use
can
mine
still
up.
regain the position.
Take it out now. Hang round the outside. Use that exit curb. ERS again. The ERS charge recharges really quickly around this circuit, which is fantastic because it means you can really use it in the right areas. Having to be so smooth. On the exits particularly, because I've got no rear tyre grip in general. Like the rears are
Gap to car in front is
losing grip
6.8
so much. And this train behind is absolutely massive. With 3 wide going into turn 1. I'm going to have to make the corner. Bottas will get both of us here. Sainz, there's no way I'm letting you go round the outside of me there. But Bottas is gone. He's the one I don't really need to worry about. The 2 McLarens are quicker than we are as well, but we're in a fight with them for points today. Bottas is going to clear off super quick. I'm quite concerned about the level of tyre wear on the rears here. I feel like I've been really smooth on the throttle and with the car. I'm not oversteering too much, but I'm concerned that only after 6 laps these tyres aren't going to last. Bit of oversteer there, you can see Sainz is going to come quick. That Renault's a lot quicker than the Honda in a straight line. I'm going to use all my ERS. Stay inside. Which way are you going to go? I'm up against the wall almost. I'm going to slowly come across.
Strategy is available on the MFD. Copy that.
0 stops. Hey, if I do 0 stops, these tyres are going to explode, so no thank you. They're coming so quickly. I can't take those 2 corners flat, and we're out of ERS. I'm going to stay inside. Norris has got the toe as well. So come and make contact with us. Out of the corner in 3rd. Block him off. Hope we get back onto the line. You trying to set up the inside signs? What are you doing, mate? See, we've got our rear tyres are absolutely gone. Normally, I'm one to complain about understeer. I hate an understeery car. Just want to get into the corner properly, but now I'm struggling with oversteer. Not to say the front's great, but this oversteer is not welcomed.
Power output will be down.
The sooner I pit, the longer I have to go on that other set. And coming in the last laps of the race, do I really want to be struggling in the way that I am now? Not really, but I'm losing time here as well. Might pit a lap early, lap 11. So we'll do 1 more after this lap and then come into the pits because this set of tyres are getting absolutely destroyed. I can't believe that their tyres are that much better than mine, but this train behind is so large. It's crazy.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option. Understood, copy that.
There's no way I'm doing a 0 stop race, Jeff. Surely you can see that my tyres are absolutely gone already and I'm getting actually swamped by the cars behind. Use all the ERS I've got to try and stick with him. Just enough into turn 1. Try and stay inside, run wide so that he gets pushed back and into the clutches of his teammate.
Understood, stopping this lap.
I'm going to box this lap. That 78% on that right rear is not where I want to be. for any longer. I'm being limited so much by tyre wear. And you know, if I have to make something happen later on and just defend for my life, then so be it. But I can't keep on like this. I'll get a puncture if the tyre wear gets too high anyway.
The gap to the car ahead is 16.2 seconds. Check your MFD for a new strategy option. Take care. Our data indicates pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap.
Just making sure they're expecting me as I'm oversteering so much. I'm staying inside. These guys are going to go. I'm going to have to... As I've been hit as I'm coming into the pits by Lando Norris. Yellow flag, I'm not surprised. I'm coming into the pits, I'm staying left-hand side. No idea what he's doing as everyone flies past. I've been to see the pace of everyone else. Schumacher second last, that is certainly not good enough. We are going to have to get a new front wing. We did have damage this time, I do remember that. But that's okay. We are taking our time though, lads. 10 seconds. That has put us way out of the game now. We were just salvaging points. But this is going to be a salvage job. We've not been quick enough. If it was the dry race, I'd feel super happy. And I felt like we could have got points today. But in the wet, I've just not been quick enough. The AI are good in the wet. They don't make mistakes like I do. I'm just going to be careful. I've got to nurse these tyres for 14, 15 laps. And I can feel like I've got a lot more grip. But I've just got to be careful because I don't want the same situation as before. There'll be a lot of people that come out in front of us now. Pit lane's pretty full. Come out in 13th, that's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Interesting to see Kvyat's pace and Raikkonen behind. See if they're quicker than we are in the same way that the McLarens were earlier in this stint. We've got Perez and Magnussen battling a little bit now. Kvyat is catching us a little bit. Gap's 2 seconds to Perez. And they are battling, which is drawing them into us, which is great because Magnussen is our rival. All the more time that they are battling, the best for us, although we have got Kvyat right on our back now. Castle section's not the best place to try and start making overtakes. Oversteer there. This doesn't make any sense. All my ERS, the two in front are way quicker. And I don't know if this is the difficulty or I'm just slow in a straight line or just slow in general, I'm not too sure. I did up the difficulty, maybe I have to drop it back down. Just felt like in quali I was too quick. Because I'm really slow now. Normally in the races I can make good progress, but let me know what you think. If you would rather see me finishing the points more often, I can lower it ever so slowly. Or if you'd like this to be realistic, struggling for points first season, which I'm more inclined to do, then let me know. Monaco being the exception, I was just super quick there.
We expect the grip levels to start falling away soon.
Soon. Mate, I've still got over 10 laps to go. We're going to have to make a third pit stop. There's no way these tyres are going to last another 10 laps. We're already on 40% on the right rear. Pit stop time. There's a few coming in with us. Fair few. No wing damage, so another wing shouldn't be going on, which is good news. See if we can get out ahead. Got 1.9. That's a great pit stop.
Exit now.
As we come out ahead of Kvyat. it sent me, it didn't allow me to get on the power, on the brakes quick enough, and it sent me, I'm gonna have to go lean here. Right, it's good news he's got into, so I'm gonna push him wide. But even Mick is in this train behind me, and I can't believe that he's...
We have 2 laps of fuel
that much
remaining.
quicker than I am. All because I upped the difficulty by 2, I think. Can't have made that much of a difference when I was actually miles ahead of him. Ricardo, as if you're going to send it into there. It wants me to pit, and I don't understand that, for 1. 2, they've started battling behind me, which is great. Final lap of the race. Feel confident we can keep them behind. It's a shame we're not in 12th really, because that would have been one of our sponsor goals achieved. You guys let me know if you think that the difficulty has led to this, or whether you've experienced issues with the AI being a lot faster in the wet. Now in Monaco I was probably particularly quick. I felt very comfortable there, a lot more so than I do around this circuit here. So let me know if you've experienced the AI being a bit too fast, or whether this is the update in my the AI difficulty that I've changed. I should probably concentrate because I'm having a shocker here. Trying to talk and drive quickly in the wet around a street circuit isn't probably the best idea I've ever had, but hopefully you guys enjoy the style of content that this is, rather than me talking over race highlights. I much prefer this type of thing because you get to see a real live reaction of what's going on, rather than a commentary as such from a driver's perspective, you know? Let me know what you think. Do you like the way that I do these videos? If not, then please say, because I'll change it up. Too much curb there. Oversteer. Save that ERS. Look at that. He's going to come past us. Guaranteed. Going to Rich Mix. I think we should have enough. ERS and Rich Mix has saved us there. My God. Oh, sorry. I just pressed pause. That's my bad. Sorry, everyone. There we go. I can't believe I pressed pause there by accident. I tried to look behind me. P13 though. That was a tough Grand Prix. That was a very, very tough Grand Prix. Driver of the day, Lance Stroll. No idea where he's finished, but we were so slow. I felt really bad in the car today. Monaco, in contrast, was amazing, but it's somewhere I feel a lot more comfortable than I do at Azerbaijan. Excuse me. Charles Leclerc, really good round here. His drive in F2 around this track was incredible. He's got his justice after crashing last year. So there we have it, P13 for us. Really struggled for pace, if you can see there. Ricardo, a full second quicker. But Mick Schumacher, P20. DNF for Latifi, so only Raikkonen behind him, not really good enough. His pace was similar to me, but I really struggled this time, and I normally expect myself to be quicker. He wasn't that great. I've managed to salvage a result, whereas he's really struggled. So you guys let me know, like I said before, what we should do. Do we wait till the end of the season, or do we do it midway through and get rid of Mick and change teammates? But that's the end of the Grand Prix. Let's get into those highlights. Got a decent run off the line, a really good run off the line. I short shifted to second really quickly. And you can see I've made a great run round the outside of quite a few there. Round the outside, managed to get outside of Vettel, using those wet lines to my advantage. It was only a matter of time before he was going to get past anyway, but coming through here with one of the McLarens. Made a little bit of contact there as he's got a bit of oversteer. Wasn't ideal, but we were battling so hard with this group. And that was a little switchback that we did that worked out a treat. And battling, going nearly 3 wide through this section now. Bottas, Norris and Sainz managed to run around the outside. Bottas Managed to get through, as you should expect in the Mercedes. And I came under so much pressure, I was not quick enough. And 3 wide, coming down the straight, in the wet. Tried to make the corner, just managed it. Bottas was able to get the traction down better than the rest of us. And it was only right for us to let him go. He was holding us up. And now Norris and Sainz coming at me super hard, made a little bit of contact. He moved over in the braking zone, but, you know, my book, that's a penalty. But based on the rules it is as well. But I'll let the FIA decide on that one, as it were. And coming into the pit lane, Norris has hit us up the back. It's so clear where I'm going. He must have thought I was defending hard. And we made that pit stop. Luckily, we didn't have damage, and they did. Let me know what you think of the new livery as well. I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks better than the old one as well. Shame it's not brighter to let those colours pop a bit more, but we really struggled for pace today. It was a bit disastrous, to be honest with you. I was trying to manage the tyres, and I don't understand how... See that? I don't know why, but I couldn't brake. It made me brake too late, and then I ended up running wide. It was a bit strange. Tried to tuck in behind Kvyat here, and Danny Rick was coming right behind us. Managed to sneak up the inside there and just check him up a little bit. And as we come over the line, we managed to finish just ahead of Ricciardo, but not the best race for us. Maybe it was the difficulty. You see, Mick wasn't that far off, to be fair to him. But that's the end of the race. Let's get in to the HQ. Kevin going up ahead of us in the rivalry, only by 1. Not too concerned about that. Our driver acclaim goes up to 6 now, matching Mick, and he's really lagging behind at the moment. I expected a little bit better of him, if I'm honest. So, like I said before, you guys are in control of who we choose next. 400k in the bank, which is fantastic for us to try and boost our team up and bring in those upgrades or a brand new teammate. I'm going to do reshaped combustion chamber, fuel efficiency. That'll definitely help us boost up the grid. We've still got a decent engine, but the other departments' capacities are at a limit at the moment. Maybe we should need to upgrade our facilities to help assist that. But at the moment, I think an engine upgrade will really help us, while we've got chassis and aero departments working at the moment on bringing our car to be a bit better. As you can see, we've got 4 upgrades hopefully coming. What's the date today? 8th. So we should have the aero department done in time, and then the engine and the chassis will be coming soon as well. That is where I'm going to leave the video for today. Thank you ever so much for watching. It wasn't the best race for us. We really struggled in the wet conditions. In the dry conditions I felt really good, but in the wet we just struggled for pace. And the tyre wear, let me know what you guys think about the tyre wear. I felt like I was driving pretty smooth, really trying to manage the tyre wear as best as I can, when the other cars and the AI were able to do a lot more with their tyres than I was, and it seemed like Mick was in that position as well, seeing as we're in the same car. So let me know what you think, if you've experienced the same, where your tyre wear has been a lot higher potentially than you think the AI's is. Comment in the comment section down below what you think we need to do with our teammate situation. Do we go for Magnussen? Do we go for Russell? Do we go for De Vries? Or do we keep Mick on for the rest of the season and see how he progresses and try and train him up a little bit and see if his performances get better and better? As always, like and subscribe onto the channel for more F1 2020 My Team content, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.